From each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are. From memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried. And with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight. Reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I am Jeffrey, and we are back today with the 132nd Disney feature-length film from June the 24th of the year 1977. For those following along, that is 2 days after our last film that we watched. It is a film called Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo is the third installment in the Herbie Love Bug franchise that we have watched so far. So does that make this the third sequel that we've watched? Probably. It's also the return of Dean Jones yet again. After being in the first one but not being in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And also Don Knotts. Would you like to start us off with a quick synopsis about Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo?
Herbie, the Volkswagen Beetle with a mind of its own, is racing in the Monte Carlo Rally. Unbeknownst to Herbie's driver, thieves have hidden a stolen diamond in Herbie's gas tank and are now trying to get it back.
It's true. Even the synopsis gives it away.
Well, there you go, friends. Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Yeah. Opening thoughts? Are you over this series or this?
Well, I was kind of excited that Dean Jones was coming back, so I thought it would be better than what it ended up being, I guess, to me. It's one of those, it's like, did we really need to make a third one? And they're going to make more of these.
There's another one in a couple years.
Yeah, there's going to be more of these. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
What do you got for facts?
Facts. So the lake that Herbie drives through is the same lake that Herbie skipped on the top of in the Love Bug, the 1968 Bay Ridge. And the car that Herbie falls in love with is a 1977 Lancia Monte Carlo. And at the time of this movie's release, Baskin-Robbins offered a promotional ice cream flavor tie-in called Monte Carlo Stripe with a raspberry ribbon running through the middle. I love a good themed food or snack. Anyway, Dean Jones' last starring role in a Disney feature film, although he would later reprise his role as Jim Douglas in the little TV known production Herbie the Love Bug 1982 and The Love Bug 1997. And I can tell you I've never seen either one of those.
Yeah, I don't
know. And then the gas cap used in this film is a fake because every Herbie fan knows that Herbie's gas tank is actually under the hood, as it's revealed several times in the original movie. But the fake gas tank was added to the gym, so the gym thieves could easily put the diamond inside of Herbie and not look very suspicious.
Yeah.
But in the remaining sequels in this, it's no longer there, so they do remove it.
Well, that's because they don't want to give away.
But to me,
to get rid of any more diamonds.
Yeah, but it also looked super duper fake. It didn't really look like a gas thing at all. Anyway, and it is the 95th live action film produced by Disney.
in the 132nd of all time. Are we diving right in?
Sure.
All right, so we get some opening credits, and we see that passports are getting stamped to Monte Carlo. We see Herbie is driving through the
Time out. Did you know where Monte Carlo was before we watched this?
Oh, I still don't know. Somewhere in France, clearly.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was in France.
Yeah.
Learned something.
We see Herbie driving through the countryside.
Hmm.
Um, Dean Jones' character, he goes by his last name of Douglas, and Don Knotts' character, whose name is something. What is Don Knotts' character's name?
He calls him something that starts with a W because on his helmet it's a W.
Yeah.
Wheelie.
Wheelie. Yep. So,
Wheelie Applegate.
so those two characters are lost. Um, they are looking to try to find the Trans France race. Um, they get there and everyone's kind of making fun of the Volkswagen's chances. So Herbie doesn't take kind to people laughing at him. So he causes a scene,
Hmm.
spits some
Oil.
oil like he's known to do. At this time, someone is also delivering something to the museum that will come into play later. The crowd laughs at the love bug. The crowd laughs at the love bug and the drivers when they arrive to the race. They have not raced in 12 years. This is their way um, to try to get their name back in the spotlight.
Hmm.
We then cut to the museum, and there's a diamond museum. Very fancy diamond. It's worth a bunch of money. I wrote down how much it was worth later. Um, Instantly, people are there and they're planning to steal this diamond. There's two people, one of which is one of the dads from Willy Wonka, and the other one is the captain from the 90s Titanic movie.
Did you know this already, or did you
No,
find
I mean, you can tell by both their faces that one of them is, um,
one of us likes Willy Wonka and the other one doesn't, so obviously
okay, I love Willy Wonka.
you were able to tell who it was.
Yeah, so one of them is the one of the father
Mm.
is the father from Willy Wonka, and the other one, well, one of the fathers of the kids, and the other one is the captain from the Titanic of the 90s. But these two dudes are already planning on trying to steal this diamond, and they get away with it. They almost get caught, but like the foolproof trap that they set doesn't fully arm, and they're able to jump out the windows to escape. Anything?
Nope.
All right. So there's a bunch of commotion going on outside with like all the race cars and the cops and everything. This is where the criminals hide the diamond in Herbie's gas cap.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, it then cuts to qualifying race time. Herbie has some catching up to do. Um, Basically, Herbie has some catching up to do, but he ends up having to ride next to another car to show off because we learn that he has a crush on the car. There's a car crush. You want to talk about that? Like, you kind of picked up on that more than I did at the beginning.
They were falling in love. She drove by and he saw her, and it was like love at first sight. And then all of a sudden, he's like completely off track because he's like chasing her down. And you were like, I don't know what's going on. And I was like, I don't understand how you don't know what's going on.
Well, so in the race, Herbie's clearly in love. He ends up stopping mid-race. The other car driver, who's also a lady, she's quite upset because she's like, "Are you just mocking me because I'm a female driver?"
Yeah.
And like Douglas can't be like, "No, my car's in love with your car." Blah 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 blah
Hmm.
blah. She thinks that Douglas doesn't want women in the race and doesn't believe that it's the car. But they learn that. Go ahead.
If you were to meet him and he was to tell you, my car is pretty much alive,
No,
you'd think he's crazy too.
exactly. And clearly she's got
Well, she's really not
concerns.
believing that her
Yeah,
car is alive.
yeah. Well, we're not there yet. They only have 10 minutes more to qualify, and they end up losing the qualifying round. So both of them have not qualified. Herbie is continuing the mischief, trying to impress this car. I don't even know what kind of car it is. They refer to it. But
They Lancia Scorpion.
okay, that's a love bug for you, a scorpion.
A beetle and a scorpion.
So Herbie takes off. Herbie ends up taking off with the other car. Yeah, that's funny, right? Herbie Herbie ends up taking off with the other car, and the lady driver is very upset because she thinks that someone stole the car, but both of them can't find their car. The cars stole each other. So that's the first sign of that car is not just a car. The two cars end up frolicking through the park together.
They
Um,
frolic everywhere together.
they do. The police end up questioning Douglas about the diamond. But then at the same time, the thieves are trying to steal it back, but Herbie was Herbie and fought back like only he can. Um, so the thieves don't have the success of getting the diamond back. So then it's another attempt to qualify. It starts off rough, until Herbie sees the love car and takes off.
Mhm.
He pulls off some antics, but they are finally able to qualify. They end up like setting some like speed record or whatever. But then the lady in her car also qualify, matching
Record.
the record perfectly of Herbie's.
Mhm.
They both set the exact same time in the qualifier. How exciting! They
They were showing off
That's
to each
right. Yeah,
other.
they both discuss the inner workings of their car, but she refuses to believe it. The thieves end up coming into the next scene, and they kind of force Herbie to pull over with gunpoint. So basically, these Wheelie and Douglas think that these two men that are trying to get the diamond back are sent by the woman to get them out of the race.
Mhm.
Really, they just want the diamond back. So the thieves force Herbie to pull over with a gun, but it takes off, causing end up taking off, causing a bunch of hijinks. Hijinks that includes a fortune teller and a pig. I don't know. They gotta go through like some kind of fair.
It was the most funny thing. She is reading someone's fortune, and she goes, "Darkness will fall upon you." And they hit the tent, and the tent collapses on both of them. He goes, "Amazing!"
But then he hits like a pig roast, and the pig gets like into the car with like the apple, and the apple's in the other guy's mouth, and it's all a big thing.
Such a fake pig.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He touches like he's like, ha, ha, that's not. They begin to think that
No, it's fake. It's fake.
yeah. So they're like they say they think that the thieves are the ladies idea to get them out of the race,
Mhm.
which ends up causing a fight between Douglas and the lady whose name I wrote down later. I don't even know what her name is yet. Um, it's Diana, maybe. Yeah, Diane. It ends up causing a fight between Douglas and Diane. Douglas is even what's his name? Jim Douglas, right?
Mhm.
Whatever. I'm calling him Douglas.
Jim
Um,
Douglas.
so because of all this nonsense, Herbie is placed into protected custody. Um,
Why? He can take care of himself.
well, they don't know that yet. Um, so then,
Jim
well, he does, yeah. But
knows this.
they
And so
placed
does
they placed
Billy.
the car in protective custody, which is just another hijinks of it's race time and there's no car. So Diane and Douglas, um, they finally begin to make up, but there's no Herbie in sight.
Yeah.
So then Diane's car refuses to start without Herbie, and she's very upset. So then Douglas
She
and
thinks that somebody has done something to
Yep.
her car.
So then Douglas and Wheelie end up lying to her or lying to the car about how Herbie doesn't want her and Herbie has a bunch of
Pop
other
your
ladies.
hood.
Yeah.
He told her to pop her hood. The hood was also in the back,
Mhm.
like a Volkswagen Beetle. And Wheelie leans over into it, and he starts telling her all these lies about he wasn't the fur,
Yeah.
and he's run off with some other car, but he wasn't brave enough to tell her.
So the car magically starts and takes off.
No.
Um, so then Douglas and team only has 2 minutes or 2 minutes or
The race
to
starts.
wait until they have to wait till next year.
Mm.
After the race commences, an armored truck shows up with Herbie. Um, the thieves are dressed up as gas crew, but they are unsuccessful as Herbie already has stuff in him,
Mhm.
and Herbie and the gang take
Because
off.
the young detective
He's been trying to actually crack it.
that's trying to help his boss
Mm-hmm.
crack this code and has also been thinking outside the box that decided he would take the car so his boss could focus on finding the diamond thieves. He filled it up with gas and then tells his boss, "What about if the diamond
Oh, yes,
thieves?"
that's later on, but yeah.
No, he did. He told him when he got out of the truck or
Okay.
they got out of the truck, and before he drove off, he was like, "And what about if that's why somebody's going after this car, that somebody's hid a diamond in the car?"
And the chief inspector's like, no way,
Oh God.
you're out of your mind. So, well, yeah, that is next. So
Mm-hmm.
the Herbie and the gang take off. The police begin to piece together the clues and want to search Herbie for the diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then Herbie also won't start because the lady's not, his car's not there. So they lie to Herbie about
The
the other
exact
car,
same lie.
which make him start too, and they're on the race. There's a lot of catching up to do. This is where we learned that inspector reveals that he's actually been working with the thieves. He is the secret head of them.
Mm. We already knew he was working
I know, but
with
this is
them.
where it like reveals the thing. Herbie begins to catch up,
Mm-hmm.
but he ends up in a pond, kind of like you
Ba-da-dum.
said. But then he's able to continue his journey. The criminals end up switching like the direction signs, and they all end up on a cliff.
Oh, time out. The race actually does not take place in Monte Carlo.
Clearly,
They're not in France. That it's actually filmed somewhere in California. I forgot the name of the place, but I did not write it down. It was actually a place in California. Okay.
they end up on a cliff. Um, they realize that if they scream for help, the echoing causes a landslide. But they end up using this in their favor because after the criminals have them at gunpoint.
Again,
Um, but they end up being able to escape because they again
Herbie
cause
hits him with the windshield
yeah.
wipers
But then they
fluid.
also like yell to cause the landslide, and they continue the race. But this time they hear some clunking in the gas tank, and they find the diamond. And then Wheelie almost throws diamond away, thinking it's just like a random piece of rock. And he's like, no, 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 no. So he stops it and realizes that it's a $6 million diamond. Now I didn't look up how much $6 million is today after the 70s, but I'm sure it's a ton of money. Because you know what? $6 million is a ton of money. Um, there was a TV show about a $6 million man, so imagine how much the $6 million diamond is. But whatever. Um, the villains return at gunpoint for the diamond. Herbie distracts them, and the men are able to fight back in a very slapstick scene.
Mhm.
They end up tying up the criminals and continuing the race. But on their race, like they had caught up. They're in the lead. They end up seeing the love car stuck in a pond, and they're like, "We got to keep going. It's our chance to win the 100 grand for the championship." Um, and Herbie refuses to stop to help them because they lied to him earlier, and he thinks that's old news and that she's not as good as he was hoping. But then Jim Douglas, is like, no, we have to tell him the truth. They like to go back to rescue the car and the owner.
Mhm.
And then the second they tell it to Herbie, Herbie turns around and stops and swings back to go tell them or to go help them. They rescue the ladies, but they begin to lose first place. Um, Diane finally starts to believe about the car's
'Cause she
ability.
sees it.
Yep.
She sees Herbie by himself pulling her car out of the water.
Yep. The two cars hold doors instead of holding hands. They open their doors next to each other and they're holding doors.
Yeah. I liked when they went on their date in the beginning, how he picked her flowers by
Mhm.
going back up on one wheel, and he got the flowers stuck in his
Yeah.
bumper, and then he just kind of tossed them over into her uh side mirror.
Um, Herbie refuses to start because he doesn't want to go on without the lady car.
Hmm.
But then this is where the first time that Diane gives him a pet talk and encouragement, and he starts right up, and the race
Hmm.
commences.
She said go win it for her.
But then Herbie makes Wheelie beg to get back in the car because he was the one that lied. So he gets down on his knees and he begs, but they let him back in the car because only Don Knotts could do that. The race continues. Herbie begins to catch up. They end up coming back to win. Shocking. This is a Disney film. Um, they almost turn the. They almost at the end they win, and they're celebrating the win,
Mhm.
and then they are about to turn over the diamond to the fake inspector. But then the cops show up to inform them that the thieves have been captured, and then this begins to blow his cover. You want to talk about that? Like, like the guy ends up getting his cover blown because he's like, wait, only you had the codes to this. Only you knew.
Well,
Only you knew
he
the traps.
so Jim actually is the one that kind of helped the guy put it together
Mhm.
because the guy was like very slow on putting the pieces together, and he was like, "So who else would have the codes?" And he's like, "Well, nobody else would have the codes." And he was like, "Okay, so what does that mean?" And he was like, "Well, you should be arrested, da da da, for insinuating." And he was like, "But who else would have the
Yeah.
code?"
So, but then the inspector dude, the bad guy, ends up stealing the diamond by gunpoint.
Yes.
But then Herbie gets involved, rolling on his foot and
Mhm.
freeing his gun. Um, so they end up getting the diamond back, and the inspector's arrested.
And the younger officer tells him, I was always hoping you'd be around when I solved my first case.
Yeah.
And I was just like, geez, buddy.
The automobile will receive the greatest honor,
Yeah.
and then we see that Douglas and Diane begin their date, like they go on a date, and so do the cars, and then the four of them watch the fireworks together, and that's the end of the film. Thoughts on the third installment in this Love Bug?
I can only
Herbie
imagine
Goes to
what
Monte Carlo.
happens
The next one is
next.
called Herbie Goes Bananas.
Oh, I hope it's great.
Okay.
I hope it's better than this.
I do love Don Knotts though.
Um, I I technically love Herbie. I thought I would like this one better than I did. It I don't know, because this the car that she drives looks like that number 17 car up on the thing right now, but it's obviously not her driving it. And then there's a German driver driving a red car that reminds me of, is it Dirt Dastardly?
No, it's Dick Dastardly
Dick Dastardly.
and Muttley.
Um, yeah, but it just reminded me of him without Muttley. And it even kind of reminded me of his car a little bit. I don't know. And then there was a French guy that wasn't nice. And the guys had their like race jumpsuits, and on the sleeve it had like a patch of the flag where they of the country they were representing, I guess.
Mhm.
But did you notice how Diane's didn't have one?
Nope.
And that bothered me. Where was she
was
from?
without a country.
You can
You know that movie
you
where
think she's an alien?
no,
Like the other one
no. You know that movie?
that I loved so much, and you're like, I hate this
Oh my
movie.
God, what movie was that? That was the one where like they go up to space. That
Something
dude,
Moon, wasn't it?
Moon Pilot, and then like the chimp. But no, but I was talking about a non-Disney movie where Tom Hanks. I think it's Tom Hanks. Like he like arrived for like a layover, but his country went over while he was in flight, so he ends up having to live in the airport because he can't leave the airport. That's a good movie. Fuck, I'll figure it out. I'll tell you where.
I have never.
Yeah, it's
All right. Well, anyway, I very much enjoy Volkswagens, and Herbie is adorable, but this one was not, I don't know. The second one honestly wasn't that great either. The first one was good. Um, the third one probably didn't need to be made. It wasn't terrible, but I don't really know what the next one's going to be about.
Big Little Bananas.
I hope there's a chimp in it though. That might save it. But I can't believe there's as many Herbie movies as there are.
There's a ton, and they're gonna keep going.
Yeah. Anyway, so IMDb gave this a 5.7 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Decent.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible.
The Terminal, it's called.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. When did it come out?
2004. Here, I'll read you the synopsis. Sorry. An Eastern European tourist unexpectedly finds himself stranded at JFK and must take up temporary residence there because his country went over because of Civil War or whatever when he was in there. Whatever, that's a completely separate thing. Sorry, that's a tangent off this, but yeah.
You've
So
never heard of it.
so yeah, does this make your list upon a star?
It does not make my list upon
So then what is your list upon a star?
My list upon a star is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, 101 Dalmatians, The Parrot Trap, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, The Apple Dumpling Gang, a great Don Knotts film, The Strongest Man in the World, Napoleon and Samantha, because it's still on my list, Snowball Express, and last but not least, The Jungle Book.
Yeah, so this doesn't make mine either. I didn't like the first one, so but so my list upon a star through 132 films into the year that ended 1977 is number one, 101 Dalmatians. Number two, The Rescuers. For those that did not watch our last episode and did not see that upset, watch that episode because it was great. So my number two is The Rescuers. My number three is Mary Poppins. Four is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Five is Peter Pan. Six is Robin Hood. Seven is Alice in Wonderland. Eight is Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Nine is Babes in Toyland. And 10 is the Apple Dumpling Gang, now on the chopping block. But yeah, so we watched another Herbie movie. We went to Monte Carlo. We can check it off of our passport. Um, but our next episode, something that I'm slightly more excited to watch and talk about than this, we're moving over to November of 1977. Film number 133, believe it or not, we've made it to 133 films. It is a film called Pete's Dragon. That is a little bit of animation, a little bit of real life, what's the word for it? Live action, and a whole lot of awesome. But thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are on Instagram if you want to come say hello. Thanks to all of our new followers over there. We are on Spotify and YouTube where you can hear or watch or follow along with this, Deep Diving the Magic. That's where this all is happening. So please give us a like, subscribe, comment, great things. Speaking of comments, we would love to hear from you. Deep Diving the Magic Pod at gmail.com if you want to write to us about how this was your favorite, or about what country Diane was from, or about my tangent on the terminal, any of that. Deep Diving the Magic Pod at gmail.com. As always, I want to give a quick special shout out to Andy Has a Band for our intro song. Thank you there. But yeah, so we'll see you next time for um, film number 133, Peach Dragon.
Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Bye.
Bye.